The new Illwerke Zentrum Montafon juts out over the edge of the shore of the Rodund Reservoir in Van Dans, both powerfully and lightly at the same time. The building is one of the largest CO2-neutral wood hybrid office buildings in the world. The use of energy and resources is minimized throughout the entire life cycle. With the IZM, the energy company Illwerke VKW is looking to set attention-grabbing standards in future-oriented, sustainable construction. What's more, the new building improves the Montafon location and provides economic stimulus to the region. At the end of the year 2010, the design by the Vorarlberg architecture firm Hermann Kaufmann ZT GmbH won the invited competition for the contract, which involved 13 participants from Germany, Switzerland and Austria. The wooden skeletal structure of the construction, with its large areas of glazing, appealed to the jury from the word go. With a surface area of 120 by 16 meters, the longitudinal structures makes a confident impression and redefines the traditional Rodund location. The expansive, generously laid out ground floor faces out in all directions and provides the base for the office block above with its attractive, far-reaching vistas. Spring 2012. The last of the snow has to melt before construction work can begin. The IZM should be ready for use by the end of 2013, so there's no time to lose. The first ground is broken on the 12th of March 2012. Cree, a subsidiary company of Rombergbau, is the primary contractor for the construction. The company has already worked closely with the Hermann Kaufmann architecture firm to build the LCT1 in Dornbirn. That was the prototype for the newly developed wood hybrid building. The IZM for Illwerke VKW is the first such building contracted via a tender competition. A third of the length of the IZM is to stand in the water of the equalizing reservoir connected to the adjacent Rodund Works 1 and 2. This aquatic construction site has to be tackled with operations still running, which is why 12-meter-high bulkhead walls are installed to leave the basin partially dry. The decision to build out over the water was made for entirely practical reasons, as the longitudinal building would otherwise not have fit the space with the intended orientation. Ultimately, these circumstances will lead to a highly distinctive architectural work. The initial motivation for the plans came from the Illwerke office buildings built in the 1940s and 1970s. They were in desperate need of renovation and were neither adequate for modern standards nor the vision of sustainability held by the company, which is aware of its status as a paradigm of economical use of resources. A cost comparison and the opportunity to optimize operational processes and organizational structures underlined the clear benefits of constructing a new central office building rather than renovating the existing buildings in Rodund and Schruns. A master plan from the Kuss Hörburger Architecture Agency demonstrated the advantages of situating the new hydroelectric competence center at the Rodund location in the Van Dans area. The IZM is designed to bring together the production, engineering services, energy business, infrastructure services, and administration organizational units. The total investment in the Illwerke Zentrum Montafon is around 30 million euros, and its usable area stretches across approximately 10,000 square meters. The basement floor, ground floor, and staircase are made of concrete, while the 4 upper floors are wood hybrid construction, building of which begins in mid-October. The new competence center was always intended to be a green building that would meet the strict criteria of the Austrian Society for Sustainable Property, ÖGNI. In energy terms, the IZM uses passive house technology. However, life cycle considerations, health aspects, and sociocultural and functional qualities also have a role to play. All these requirements are met to the highest degree in this construction, and Illwerke VKW has thus received a gold-level green building certificate from ÖGNI for its role as an ecological pioneer. As a renewable construction material, wood sustainably optimizes use of resources in comparison to conventional building methods. The carbon footprint is reduced by up to 90%. The 3,000 solid cubic meters of wood used to build the IZM is equivalent to around 7 hectares of forest area, an amount that grows back in Austria within an hour. The forests of Vorarlberg alone would replace the wood used within 2 days. Wood has the advantage that the weight of the building and therefore the transportation of the construction components is reduced by half. Local wood is used almost exclusively. 1/3 of the spruce and fir in the construction comes from Montafon, 1/3 from Vorarlberg. The oak for the facade and the furniture is taken from nearby southern Germany. The 4 upper floors are built on site in just 6 weeks. This speed is made possible by a flexible, prefabricated wood building module system developed in an international research project by the Hermann Kaufmann architecture firm, together with the primary contractor Cree. The IZM is not only the first green building of this scale in Vorarlberg, but also one of the largest wood hybrid office buildings in the world, and therefore a milestone in resource-efficient, sustainable construction. The 400 roof and facade elements are prepared on local timber construction company premises and delivered to the construction site with a just-in-time strategy. This way, expensive intermediate storage is not required. The construction method could be described as a kind of individual industrialization. The client is particularly impressed by the technological, ecological and economic advantages of the prefabricated wood construction system and the high level of fire safety proven in tests. The floors are separated by non-flammable layers of wood-concrete composite partition ceilings, while sprinklers are integrated into the ceilings in case of emergency, and there are also solid evacuation stairs. The formal language of the facade is sleek and discreet, with ribbon windows all the way around and oak battens. At the topping out ceremony in mid-December 2012, not only the building shell is finished, as is customary, but the entire cladding of the building is also complete. Now it's full steam ahead with the completion of the interior and installations. The move is scheduled for autumn 2013. The elaborate building technology is also based on an environmentally compatible and sustainable concept. 300 kilometers of cables and piping for heating, cooling, ventilation, lighting and sprinkling are housed in the ceiling. Laid out side by side, their patterns would cover an impressive 100 kilometers. 76 tons of silver fir and spruce are used for this part of the job alone. A cool head in summer and warm feet in winter. With the best in lighting and ventilation, the passive house technology ensures these levels of comfort with minimal energy consumption and low running costs. The energy requirements are 70% lower than those of conventional office buildings. The cooling water from Rodund Work 1 serves as the energy source. The building is heated and cooled via a heat pump system. The heating requirement is 14 kilowatt-hours per square meter per year, while the primary energy requirement totals at 29 kilowatt-hours per square meter per year. The air conditioning is managed via a CO2 measurement. The windows can be opened. If anyone should forget to close the windows before leaving the office, a sensor alerts the system headquarters. The modular and highly automated lighting system with LED lights is centrally controlled using daylight sensors and occupancy sensors. If no one is in the room, the lights switch off automatically. What's more, each employee has access to the light from their desk, so they can adjust it to their individual requirements. The blinds have an automatic motor drive too, which is also controlled depending on levels of daylight. The 270 or so people who work in the IZM were a central element of the planning. In addition to functional considerations, factors such as well-being, comfort, spatial quality, and artwork were considered in the construction. The modern office concept is set up without consideration of hierarchical structures and is designed to also be attractive to younger colleagues. After intensive consultation with the employees, accompanied by the Munich company Macon, an open plan design was implemented. Internal processes go hand in hand, and short chains of command promote interdepartmental activity. Flexible offices make finding space for both concentrated work and creative exchange possible. The new IZM is occupied in mid-October 2013, turning the construction site into a living, trend-setting microcosm for employees and visitors. Coming from the access towers, you first arrive in a shared space that is used by everyone and has a lounge-type character. Here, there are meeting rooms and small kitchens. Thereafter, there is a middle zone providing work tables, small meeting zones, think tanks offering a chance to retreat from the hustle and bustle, and an office infrastructure. This zone is surrounded by quieter work areas. Special requirements, such as those of the power plant engineers, were also considered in the layout. For their work, they need peace and quiet and lots of space for the large-scale plants. The canteen, with seating for 170 and a panoramic view of the reservoir, and the visitor center are communicative meeting points on the ground floor for all employees and guests. The upper floors are reached via the spectacular west-facing foyer. Behind there are various sizes of meeting and training rooms, also with fantastic vistas. The IZM offers some very special examples of art and architecture inside too, with works by artists from Vorarlberg. The project by Karl-Heinz Ströhle was already integrated into the staircase as part of the structural work. His large-scale concrete reliefs remind visitors of the decisive element in energy production. Water is transformed into a linear relief here. Miriam Pranttl's lighting work comprises LED strips that are integrated in parallel directly into the wooden ceiling battens. Changing color gradients symbolize the constantly flowing energy currents at Illwerke and create a breathing, atmospheric space. A series of reported photographs expresses the activities of the 6 IZM departments as seen by Nikolaus Walter. The employees at Illwerke took part in the final selection of images. The large-scale photographic works by Alexandra Berlinger and Wolfgang Viel are individual portraits of the energy business, production, infrastructure services, and human resources departments. Key motifs from photos have been made into abstract silhouetted figures. The departments added incisive keywords to represent the activity. Finally, the compositions made of colorful cardboard and important materials for the business were photographed again. Around 15,000 visitors each year are expected at the IZM. The site is characterized by the interplay between nature and artificial landscape elements. This was the source of the decision to formulate a strong, powerful construction that confidently redefines the location. This attitude is not unusual when it comes to construction in alpine areas and is very much part of the tradition of Vorarlberg power station construction. With its positioning by and on the reservoir, the building stands out as a symbol of the importance of hydroelectric power and therefore the importance of Illwerke for Montafon.